Hello. I'm not gonna lie, I was here for a while, but I let Song of the Ancients Fate play, just because it's Song of the Ancients Fate, and you have to listen to it. Besides, the new version is good, but I feel like there's something lacking in that version. I'm not really sure what it is, but there's just something off. Also, I don't think I haven't listened to the song itself yet. But I don't think that Song of the Ancients Fate in the new version, like 1.22, I don't think it has that guitar thing in the background when it lowers. Also, hi, welcome. So, okay. We're getting the beginning of Route B today. And it's going to be painful. Not as painful yet. But it's going to be painful. How are we doing today? Also, my cat is right here, being cute with me. And there's something very good today, because it's been cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain. So that means I am perfectly fine with the weather as it is. Like, I'm not melting. Everything's good. God. And now my cat is trying to eat my sketchbook. Come on, don't do that. Why are you like this? Also, it's good to hear that you're doing good. Do some crocheting. Sit back, enjoy, relax. Alright, let me just open the game. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Alright. So, last time we were here, we got ending A. And today we're going to not get ending B, because ending B is hard to get so early on. But we're going to start Route B. And it's very special. Like, we know how it is, but I'll still let it be like a surprise.
Whenever I interacted with Kainé, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Oh! Okay, so we're beginning. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward a wooden, hog-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with a pale white skin to give the face almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down from the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kainé! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kainé struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kainé's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kainé turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, and cruelty burning in their eyes. Kainé knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentors' parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kainé was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't hurt... Oh, look! The little freak is gonna cry! What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kainé prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kainé couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kainé's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to run away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kainé, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kainé. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kainé curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kainé ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no one to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak! Kainé closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kainé was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying! He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kainé. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. "Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kainé again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it." The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. "Ow!" he screamed, leaping to his feet. "Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining! Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me!" The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kainé, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. "Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you!" Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. "Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight." Hold on. I wasn't expecting to do all this reading yet, so I'm a little dry. It's okay. I hope it doesn't distract, though. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kainé. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kainé," she said. "Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kainé, and she turned away. "Don't be nice to me," she said. "I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kainé's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kainé found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kainé. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kainé was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kainé called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each passing year, Kainé and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kainé truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kainé's pain and loneliness, it was her. "Did I make you sick, Grandma?" "Course not, don't be an ass." Kainé drew her grandmother's mouth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. "But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't—" "Hush," interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you, and if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kainé's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kainé want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kainé reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kainé to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in this construction, made Kainé's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kainé blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kainé took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kainé gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kainé stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kainé let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Daily life. In the distance, Kainé heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing the master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about the barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kainé's grandmother flayed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that will make the most hardened tailor blush. Grandma! Called Kainé. That you, Kainé? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn food off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun cast past Kainé close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or, a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kainé knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kainé did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of possible excuses, Kainé knew the real reason. Jesus Christ, my hand. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kainé moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and their granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kainé enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kainé turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kainé swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap! She suddenly understood the joy of her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small, pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kainé redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kainé dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kainé steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kainé didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kainé away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kainé desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kainé was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, their positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kainé came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kainé gently pushed her down. It's alright, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed like an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Hold on. Water. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kainé strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. And now we're at 5 FPS land again. Kainé moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kainé finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kainé took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her hands in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kainé's presence. "Hey lady," said Kainé with a bravado she did not feel. "Where's the apothecary?" The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. "How dare this thing speak to me," they seemed to say, but Kainé saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. "Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one." "Which way?" Kainé repeated. The woman pointed at the small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kainé cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. "Oh my god," he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak?" The insult was delivered without force, and Kainé happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. "Ha!" barked Demo. "The old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo!" The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. "Oh, my controller!" Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kainé under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kainé a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there will be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. "You like that picture?" Kainé turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. "That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead for a long time now." Kainé didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. "Pictures of wonderful things," continued the shopkeeper. "And let the ones closest to you live on forever." He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kainé and smiled. Handing her medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of wax crayons. "You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw." Kainé took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. "Yes, I've heard the rumors about you," he said. "It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable." "Grandma's name is Callie?" thought Kainé suddenly. She was still mulling over this new fact in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. "Your grandmother is an old friend of mine," he said as Kainé scooted away yet again. And I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her." "Yes, I think she would like that very much." Kainé murmured a small agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. And with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kainé returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kainé to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kainé from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," she said Kainé with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kainé removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horse shit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help me with dinner." But Kainé would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kainé took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kainé finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift for the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought the crayons would, make drawing easy or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It could also have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly whisked out a laugh. "Oh, Kainé," she said between laughter, "you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it." "But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kainé would catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kainé could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kainé and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kainé's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life, like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kainé swore, because I'll remember it forever. Forever. Oh god, I forgot how many of these there are, but we're gonna be reading a lot. Kainé listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the block. Okay, let me try that again. Kainé listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kainé. And I think it's burned of something because it smells terrible. With that, Kainé held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kainé's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kainé could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kainé started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kainé lacing up work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kainé looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the calamus trees and see if they were ripe. And I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kainé stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn, girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know what you have to do today. We can worry about it some other. Grandma, no. If I don't go to the calamus trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. Confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kainé. Lately it seems like my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flowers' petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kainé thought it was more beautiful now than the first day she received it. Hold on. You're gonna be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and build on defensive walls and more talking about how beautiful you become. Annoyed, Kainé reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't other like you in the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you, where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kainé by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kainé in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kainé thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old courtier like me. You go get your fruit and your wool and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kainé rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kainé could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel and for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle but with a sad expression on her hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kainé worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruits she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kainé pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed to its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with his finger, Kainé suddenly felt her stomach knot in on herself. No. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kainé ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went spiraling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kainé's mind began to rise in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kainé, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning through the yard. For a moment the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kainé responded with a scream of her own. "Alright, you bastard," she thought as a scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me. Let's go." Hold on. The shade eyed Kainé with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kainé glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive!" thought Kainé. "Alive!" Kainé's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kainé tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. "Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now!" As Kainé struggled to her feet, the shade stumped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, and then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kainé lurched to her feet, only to fall back to the earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken tail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kainé pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kainé was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kainé rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as a foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kainé never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. "Kainé?" Kainé's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. "Grandma? Kainé, you gotta run. You can't best this one." Kainé grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. "Grandma, come on, we have to go." The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kainé's grasp and thumped to the ground below. "Grandma, no! No! I said run, goddammit! You have to live. You have to get through." The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the rope and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as a terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kainé's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kainé blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment ago. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kainé's mind, one after the other, faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kainé screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor purring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kainé's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep, red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kainé seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kainé off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kainé's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it! 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 Kill it now! As the spark that was Kainé slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Here we are again. At SeaWorld.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
My sword feels lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
You don't have a sword. NieR, you don't have a sword. It's a spear. Oh god. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kainé tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kainé and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kainé opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt that picture! Kainé reached out with her remaining arm and waved fruitlessly at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture onto the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kainé turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now! She looks just like you! Ha-cha-cha-cha! I look like that? Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kainé laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was bolder and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kainé wanted to scream at the voice, as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me! Kainé finally resorted to shouting at the voice in her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kainé glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kainé tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body! Come on, give it to me, give it to me! I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with math, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in their blood, just like before. In response, Kainé shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kainé was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. "Feels good, don't it?" asked the boys with a chuckle. "Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me that body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade." A black lump began to protrude from Kainé's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. "I can see better," she thought. "My eye must be growing back too." The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. "Stop," she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. "Stop." The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. "Ah, what the hell, Sunshine!" screamed the voice. "We had a deal! I thought you wanted to die!" Grandma said, "Can't die yet." A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. "That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die." Kainé glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. "Well, I'll be damned," said the boys cheerfully. "Look at that, Sunshine! I think you and me are gonna be good friends now." Kainé stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. "Stop! Gotta stop!" Holding her left arm in her right, Kainé took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. "Come on, don't fight it," pleaded the voice. "Hates my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go, feel that anger, burn with the fire of revenge, thirst for blood, then go out there and shut up! Shut up and get the hell out of my body!" "Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine, real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead." Kainé grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kainé screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching and bone filled the air. "Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back." The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. "Possessed?" whispered Kainé. "Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now." Kainé looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. "Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world?" "So, listen," purred the voice. "I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all that bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you wanna kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain." "Wait," said Kainé. "You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade?" "What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a I don't give a good goddamn who you murdered, honeypants. I just want to drink from the well. Kainé considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kainé. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So, listen. My name's Tyrann, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now, get to it! The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kainé found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna date a sim to you, Tyrann. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyrann. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kainé herself. Kainé waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. Feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kainé. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kainé started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kainé fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that had now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kainé, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kainé.
Welcome back, Kainé.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kainé waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devola and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared, and... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kainé saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kainé?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kainé always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devola. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devola and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kainé and Emil's situation myself.
I forget. Oh!
I should apologize to Kainé and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Campfires? I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kainé.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
I'm pretty sure that's new content. I hadn't seen that before.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devola and Popola.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's new content.
What might that be?
Oh!
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
I didn't want to start the gauntlet yet.
Say there.
Oh.
Can you not hear me?
It's Dad!
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
It's him! It's NieR, Mr. NieR himself! There he is! Him and his husband! Can I go back yet? You know what? Might as well just do one of these. Fuck it, right? NieR and Vicey are always together. He says even though they argue a lot, they are actually good friends. This is the world of the recycled vessel, created to avoid the destruction of all. I do have to say that I quite like these remixes. They're from the Nightmares in a Range. The one that I'm really looking forward to listening to though is their rendition of Bluebird. Because Bluebird actually kind of fucking slaps in Nightmares in a Range. It's my favorite rendition of it. And actually this album is on Spotify. So that's gonna be fun to listen to for y'all. Let's go, Dad! Yeah, just killing a bunch of children. That's my dad. I do find it a little bit amusing. Ow. How it's the mom's diary. Yes! Bluebird! I just want to listen to it. No, I'm too strong. keep thinking about that person who says that this version of Bluebird sounds like a Devil May Cry track. And honestly, it does. Oh, medicinal herbs. Okay. The Black Scroll, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. Oh, that's an interesting track choice. I hope Bluebird plays again. I really like that rendition. Ow. Bastard. Come on. This is a very awkward arena. Oh, okay. Oh, my cat is being adorable. Husband and wife are matching red bags. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death. They are legion, those who plunge the world into darkness. This is Shadow Lord, right? Yeah. I kinda wish they would have the White Note remix. Look at that, it's just like massacre. Yeah, Dad, go! Ow. Ow! Just gonna do a couple of these. Can you reimagine? Can you, like, this is definitely DLC. It feels like DLC. But it's still very interesting to think about it being DLC. God. Oh, we have the full embrace! Okay, we finally did it. Thank God. Dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Yes, yes, we know that that's Angelus. I was actually doing a little bit of light reading on, Oh my god, can you please... Okay. I was doing a little bit of light reading on Grimoire NieR. Because I was a little bit, I was a little bit interested on, Oh, shit. Okay, that was bad. I was interested on the Hamelin organization, more or less, and Luciferace, since... Okay, and this is Drakenier lore. Mostly Drakengard related. Ah, come on. Gretel, what the hell? But yeah, I was mostly reading about that, and I wanted to let you know that Emil and Halua are a lot older than they seem. I think they were created, so to speak, in like 2006, 2016? I don't remember exactly. They might be older. But the whole thing that happened there was that the Hamelin organization was made after a little bit of time in the White Coronation Syndrome I guess, apocalypse you could call it. And by then, the Japanese forces launched what they were called, I think, crusades. I think they were around in the 5th crusade before the Hamlet organization happened. So the 5th crusade was mostly just, I think, replicants trying to fight back against the Legion. And they were not successful. They were trying to kill the leader of the Legion. So the Hamlet organization was created in order to create weapons that would be able to wipe out the Legion and kill the leader of the Legion, which was Red Eye. So these people were doing experiments on people, trying to inject them with meso, which is the particle that they got from Angelus, the red dragon. And what they managed to find out was that Luciferase, which is a drug created from that, was better on children. So the next few crusades that they sent out were mostly comprised of children. So that's where Emil and Halua come in, because they weren't part of these crusades, but they were those weapons created there. And it was the 13th crusade that finally killed Red Eye. So that's a little bit of lore for you if you want. NieR brought a chick home with... Oh, don't tell me that. Okay. The Black Sickness stains the future, the journey to return to soulless vessels. Okay, so the story behind that the chick story thing there in the diary. Yeah, that's a short story from Grimoire NieR, and I killed myself. That's a short story from Grimoire NieR where NieR gets Yona. Oh my god, come on! Gets Yona a little chick, and just a little. Oh my fucking god! Just a little bit later, she gets the Black Scroll. So the Black Scroll actually has other symptoms that aren't really explored in game, which are bleeding, like vomiting blood, and vomiting blood, and total pain in the body, I guess. Because, as I've said before, the Black Scroll is really just your body shutting down completely because your own DNA is like destroying itself. So Yona gets it, and also it's a little bit implied that you can just stop moving entirely. Your body stops working and you can't move. And in that story, Yona's medicine, the one that will help her not be in so much tremendous pain, it's extremely expensive, and NieR has to do a bunch of unsavory things in order to afford it. But from that, he actually starts to kill shades for money, so at least it's that. It's not a very happy story, and it's very much a brother NieR story. But yeah, every time I see it referenced, I just cry. Ah! I was doing so well. Ah! Maybe I should... Ah! I forgot how to do that. Yes! Ow! Come on. Thank you. Thank you for dying. Also, welcome back. You did miss a lot. Oh, Kabuki. Okay. Oh, thank you. You did miss a lot, but the VOD will be up later, so don't worry about it. Huh. Are you guys gonna talk to each other? I want to hear that again. I'm not going to do the whole DLC right now. I still like how I call it the DLC, but it's not really. It's not DLC.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
I know it's called 15 Nightmares, but you don't have to be so mean about it, NieR. Also, I think I might actually cut this stream off a little bit early today because I wasn't expecting to read for an entire hour and like 30 minutes. So I'm a little bit like dying. Depends on the fertilizer and water supply. Watering frequency only affects plants at each stage. Oh yeah, I already knew this. Let's water the moonflower. But yeah, I think I might just want to rest a little bit after that. It was a lot of reading, and unless you guys want to do the 15 Nightmares, I think this will be it for me right now. But what do you say? Should we do some more 15 Nightmares? Like, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be it's just gonna be a gauntlet. Although, how much money do I have right now? 6,000 gold, okay. I'm supposed to go see Popola, so I'm gonna go see Popola and just take care of that. Let's do this.
I should talk to Devola first.
Okay, I forgot we have to talk to Devola. Oh, a giant egg. Alright. I do remember the eagle eggs being a thing. Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
I'm headed there next. Oh, and Devola?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You don't need to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kainé know that we're sorry, alright?
Alright.
I wish there was like a photo mode or something. Also, I think... What was the thing? There's like a thing to fist bump Vice, but I don't remember it. Chicken egg, okay. Hey, sir.
Oh man, I'm in a heap of trouble.
What's the problem?
Well, I was distracted while I was cooking. Can't make.
Yeah, that's...
You should.
Oh, this won't...
Thanks. I need one.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that you need burn down your kitchen and whatnot. Now I should probably check out the hill, just because I'm not sure if there will be a quest up there or something. I'm gonna pick up all the quests.
Just
What's...
our water wheel is on its last.
This is a wise thought on you.
I suppose we'd all be in trouble.
Replacing the axle and the
Alright.
Thank you.
Man, I'm pushed.
But yeah, this will probably be the run where I tackle some quests on my own time and just grind out for materials and whatnot. Oh.
He's not here. I wonder where he went.
Yeah, ain't that good, huh? But yeah, I will probably be doing a bunch of side quests on my own in this run, just because it's I should probably do them, but also we need the weapons. Here's the thing about NieR that people don't tell you about. Well, they probably do, but you should know it anyway if you don't know it. In order to see endings D and C in Replicant, you need to have all of the weapons in the game. This isn't new. It's something that's been here since the time immemorial of Drakengard, because Drakengard ending E, you only got it after you got every single weapon in the game. So this is pretty much common. But yeah, I'm going to definitely 100% need to get all the weapons. Like, that's a thing I need. Oh look, beans! We got beans. So, you probably will not want to see me do quests or grind out for items so that I can sell them and get money, because most of the weapons right now, they are sold. Because we fucked up and we didn't do a bunch of quests in the first section of the game. For example, there's one, and actually, I think you can get 100% of all the weapons in this game, no problem. But there is one single weapon that if you didn't get it in the first part, you better get it on the second part, and getting it on the second part is like if you got through the area on the sacrifice key quest, you're fucked. You cannot get that weapon anymore at all, ever. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's Faith. It's a spear. And yeah, if you didn't get it before then, you're shit out of luck and you're always gonna be at 99%. So if you're playing this at the same time or something, be sure to get all the weapons. Be sure to get everything that you can, because holy fucking shit, it's unforgiving. Yeah, I'm very grateful that Automata didn't do the same. But at the same time, getting all the weapons to see the endings is a bit of a staple of Drakenier, so I'm not really sure if I hate it or love it, and I'm not really sure how I would react if it was like taken away, cause I don't know, it feels, it's like,
What is the purpose of this place?
Beats me.
oh yeah, this thing. It's like, this is my shitty game series and I will love it even with its flaws. So so yeah.
Popola?
Oh, hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
The temple where I was first discovered.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Oh ho. It was right under our pages the whole time.
But the bridge that leads there is unusable.
So take a boat.
A boat?
Yes. The canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected. What with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance. The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. All right, I'll see you around.
And for the love of everything, be careful.
You know, it kind of hits different, don't it? Devola and Popola taking care of you, well, of NieR, taking care of everyone, and being like, yeah, you should be able to get to the Lost Shrine and whatnot. Like, it hits different, doesn't it? Now that you know that they are actually...
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
Now that they're actually,
How excellent to know the canal is finished. Hopefully this puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
yeah, now that you know that they are androids and that they are actually traitors. There we go. Thank you for interrupting me every time.
I know it's a hard world.
But yeah, it's hits a lot different, huh? Yeah, sure. One of each.
My husband keeps nagging me about how this is no time to grow flowers.
Ma'am, it's always time to grow flowers. But yeah, the main point of Route B is how a lot changes. There is so much that we're going to see.
Hey, look who it is.
That red...
Hey.
Sure has.
I don't care about
Apparently
you.
I did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Anyway.
I don't care about you, like, at all. I'm glad I can finally skip out on that guy, because I really disliked that character.
The Lost Shrine's up ahead, just past this cave.
As well as the...
Let us make haste.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very glad I can finally do that. And the main draw point of Route B is now we're going to see... Oh shit! Yeah, we're going to start seeing little flashes of context because, in a way, the run that we're doing right now, Route B, is Kainé's. Not exactly, but I guess you could call it that because it works, I guess. But yeah, she, as we saw on the book, well, not the book, her memories, she's possessed by a shade, and that shade is Tyrann. And because she is possessed by a shade, Kainé can understand shades. So think about that for a moment and let it sink in. Yeah, Route B is literally doing everything the same, except we now understand some bits of info and we get a shit ton of lore. The boss is in the Shadow Lord Temple? The one she kept talking to? Yeah. Oh, here's this again. Okay. You again? Stop bothering me. Grimoire Vice has been taken away. Hansel is dead. There's no reason for me to exist anymore. My life is over. Just leave me alone. What? Well, what do you know? Gretel is just being Gretel.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
Hello, Tyrann! There he is! Oh, I'm so happy. He still sounds like a dork. Yeah, that's the shade that Kainé is possessed by. But yeah, the shade that Kainé kept talking to back in the Shadow Lord's castle, that was the first tell that something wasn't quite right. And honestly, the fact that they did it at the ending, well, at the ending, I guess you could say, that was masterful. That was incredible. It made me very happy. I forgot it happened like that, so here I am just enjoying myself, and then I remember that all of those shades. This game just makes me very happy. It's like very fucked up, but it makes me very happy.
This is all too easy.
Shut up, Ice. I'm just gonna skip around these guys because I don't feel like being with them. Oh yeah, this is broken. Can you imagine? Also look. That tiny one, it doesn't attack me, right? Unless it will now. Well, that tiny one, yeah, it doesn't attack me because a lot of those small ones are children. Like at the beginning of the game, when we were going against a few shades that were blocking the path to the village, they weren't attacking. They're children. God, this game is so much. Okay, I think this is the way. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. At the very least in this climb, there isn't any shades. Or well, should I call them by their real name? Gestalts. Honestly, if you ever have any questions about the lore, I can probably try and explain because I've been breathing this game in since like forever.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety, Shades.
Their bodies aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
Careful. Okay, magic power. Not bad. Oh, strength capsule, thank you. I really hate fighting armored enemies. Are they even attacking me? No, they're not. So... Oh, Emil. This is how I cope with that revelation, just standing around doing nothing because it makes me sad. Okay. Tales of Symphonia. This has become a Tales of Symphonia stream now. No more NieR. Only the sliding block puzzles of Tales of Symphonia. Okay. So... I think after going for Gretel, that's when I'm going to stop. Okay, go back. Yes, thank you. And you go down. And you come here. Wait, no. Go down. Thank you. Honestly, block puzzles are probably the worst ever in anything. Come on. Good God. I am such an asshole! Anakin, I have murdered countless school children here. You are like little baby. Watch this. Yeah. Like a part of me is like, ooh, no. A part of me is like, NieR didn't know? So can I really be mad at him for that? But he did get the Gestalt files, unless he wasn't paying attention, or that is exclusively player knowledge and not like knowledge that the character has. Wait, am I going the right way? I think I am. Okay. No, I'm not going the right way, I think. Oh yes, I'm like, I wonder if this is knowledge that NieR has because it's on Grimoire Vice, or if Vice ever told him about it. But if NieR knew, I wonder if that would change anything of what he's doing. Yeah, I think I went the wrong way. Damn it. It's fine, at least there's no enemies. Grimoire Vice only because it's accessible only through him? I mean, I guess so, but why would Grimoire Vice, like, not tell NieR, hey, we're kinda killing humans? Unless Vice was, like, a little bit too fucked up about the fact and didn't want to tell NieR. My hot opinion is NieR would go insane because NieR would lose his mind. Yeah, honestly, he already did so much killing to get to where he got. And being told that he just slaughtered humanity itself, it would make him go insane. Hodu! Because, but also again, do you really think that NieR would, like, give a shit? Like, at some point he's just going to be like, I did what I had to, and I do not regret it. Vice would protect him, not only like crazy murderous shells of humanity, but children, yeah. I've treated you all poorly. I mocked you, betrayed you, all because you went Gestalt before the exchange was complete. But after all this, I think I can understand you. I think we can speak as equals. This makes me very happy. I hope we can spend the rest of our life. What was that? You can go. You could both be like, I did what I had. Huh?
Emil?
Oh.
Look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun!
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil.
You got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kainé. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast...
Emil, that's enough. I got a fucking image to maintain.
God, I love that conversation. I'm really glad that I got to hear it again. But you could both be like, I did what I had to and also go crazy on the weight of what it is you do. And you see how NieR is with Yona as a brother. If you realize he killed countless children specifically, that would change him forever. NieR is the kind of person who would sink under the weight of his sins, and I think even though he would take top-notch care of Yona, he would inevitably revert inwards because he has no one else and no one he would talk these things with. I see we're taking NieR psychology lessons now. No, but you're right. I think he has convinced himself.
We seem to be surrounded by a mob of helpless pebbles.
Just kick him aside.
I think NieR has convinced himself of convinced himself of this goal, so that when it was all done and he was left alone with his thoughts, he would probably crumble under the pressure. And I don't think he would be like, was it all worth it? Because he would think, yes, it was worth it. But he would never be able to look at himself the same way ever again. I have thoughts on how protagonists cope with things, alright? I know this and I love you. Alright, let's go kill Gretel after she has found new peace. Yeah, so boss fights now have subtitles.
What's going on? There's dozens of them!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light. Pathetic to the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
I am not their leader. It is I who rely on them. It is they who saved me. Stop hurting my friends.
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here.
Wait, is this when Kainé...
felled the beast.
Is this when Kainé goes berserk? Oh yes, it is. We're gonna... Those are my friends. Yeah.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Hey there, Sunshine. You ain't feeling bad for this freak, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You got a lust for blood. Embrace this slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kainé?
Oh, okay. Shut the fuck up, Tyrann! God, Tyrann, you're terrible.
Kainé!
And here we go with this bullshit again.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Tyrann! Move, move, come on, you stupid arm, move! We are incomplete, but our friends make us whole. We are mocked, abused, and hated, but our friends keep us strong. That is what keeps us going. Do not stand in the way of our lives. Those are my friends. Come on, move, 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 move! Is the dialogue gonna repeat? Well...
Kainé! Are you alright? Kainé!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
No! Kainé!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kainé! Kainé! It's Kainé's shade!
With no other choice, we must strike it down.
Kainé! Come back!
God, she's just eating shit. Does she have dialogue? I forget.
Now, pin her down.
Kainé, please! Come back!
Oh dear.
Oh! I got an achievement.
Kainé! Kainé!
Kainé! I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kainé. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kainé. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak, and I'm sad, and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend, and I need you. So don't you dare leave me!
All right. Stop crying. And thanks. I'm all right.
Over there.
I wonder if they kept the thing, because I was trying to see if she would have any dialogue, but I didn't see any, and I do know for a fact that in Gestalt, she while you're fighting her, she goes like, Tyrann, I don't want to hurt my friends. So I'm gonna look that up later and see if I can get any dialogue from Gestalt just to show you, and if they kept it for this and I just missed it. Because I'm very powerful.
And what is this?
It's me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
But yeah, I got an achievement. I think that was the achievement for beating her under 1 minute and 20 seconds.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this.
The Stone Guardian. Hey, so are you looking forward to loyal servers now with this new knowledge? And format? Hmm?
I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given that you found it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something.
That evil laughter just seeing you realize.
There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree, Loyal Cerberus. The Law of Robotics probably refers to the Junk Heap, and the Memory Tree might be the Forest of Myth. But as for Sacrifice and Loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem.
Hmm?
If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
Vice, you have no idea.
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even be sure that she's...
Because she is! Right? The Junk Heap and the Forest of Myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful.
Alright.
Oh, and listen. About Kainé and Emil. The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... they're scared, you know? People can't change overnight. I'll hurry them along the best I can. But can you please give them a little more time?
I'll try.
Alright. Are you two fuckers gonna say something? Or can I just talk to myself now? Because Lord knows these two are chatty. Do you want to do the Forest of Myth or the Junk Heap next? I think we could probably do the first part of the Junk Heap. The Forest of Myth later. We could probably do it on in the same order that we did before. Just for comfort's sake. We're just gonna do the forest. If we do the Junk Heap, we're gonna go to the wedding and to get rid of Loyal Cerberus in one go, and then we go to the Junk Heap and leave the Forest of Myth for the end. So I think we're gonna do that then.
Popola said we might be able to find a key fragment in the Junk Heap.
Perhaps we can find a clue at Two Brothers' weaponry.
Oh boy, but yeah, that should be it for tonight. I'll leave that for next time. For tomorrow, more like, because today is, because today is just fucking Monday. Jesus Christ, I have more work tomorrow. But, yeah, we have started with Route B. After everything, after tomorrow, I think I will probably take Wednesday, not to stream, but I will probably just start to get a bunch of items, etc. Get some money so that I can get the weapons that we need for ending. Return to task. For ending CND. And don't worry about that, I'll take care of it. You don't have to watch me grind like crazy. But yeah, that was the beginning of Route B for NieR Replicant. If you missed anything, I will probably release the VOD in like an hour or two. But yeah, thank you for coming. This was very fun. And I didn't think we would get to Gretel today, but we did, and well, that's life. So thank you very much for that. And see you tomorrow again at the same time. And let me go hydrate, because that hour and 20 minutes of reading was a lot. Alright. Thank you again, and see ya.